waiting for some of you to join before I begin today's live. Today's live is specifically about a manifesto that divides. Please share this link as much as you can so that we have access to from the north, especially Nagaland, to join us so that we discuss all that is happening. And of course, the latest I have is that the police are Congress for the banner from the CAA at about 9 p.m. happened, and I have the video about it, which is shocking. Why is the things are banning? That's one question that I have in my mind. Because this technically, as you can see, very terrifying with their music. They're using big time and I'll tell you why. Now it is time to show the big country. My dear friends from Nagaland, my dear friends from all over the north, especially from Nagaland because I have a special connect with you, having spent so much of time with you. And what I'm going to tell you today is, of course, shocking to realize how we are being fooled. So when we talk about Nagaland and we talk about the rest of the country, we are one. We are one. And today, it is time for us to retrospect and to see what the Congress government has done for us, how the NDP is going to BJP. And we know very well that the BJP is going to go out of the center, and that is why NDP, because of its corrupt practices, wants the BJP to, and it's also from the under pressure because of all the corruption that it has done. Today, I want to talk about the BJP manifesto, which is out there for division in terms of religion, in terms of what we eat, in terms of what we think. They want us to think. Audio is buffering, you're saying. Can you please check and let me know if the audio is okay? Is the audio okay now? Okay, so let me. I hope you can hear me now. I think so. Okay, that echo is okay because I was checking on another laptop. Yeah, that's okay. The video got blacked out because I exited. That's why. Okay, so you can hear me now. Can you please write and let me know? Okay, great. So let's start. Today, I'm going to talk about a manifesto that is there for all of us to see, and it is already there to divide us. A manifesto which has been made by the BJP is a very frightening idea of what their India is all about. Their India is about oneness of a different kind, of a different level, and the level is somewhere down there. And what we need to do now is basically make sure that we are using the power of our vote to defeat the BJP. It is very, very important that everybody goes out there and votes. And I will tell you why the BJP is scared. And I will also do a comparison of the BJP manifesto and the Congress manifesto, because I want you to know how they are all set to completely disintegrate the national fabric, the social fabric of our nation. They don't want you to think about anybody except them. And the prime minister, of course, he's a coward, and that's why he never does a press conference. He never addresses the press. All that he wants to do is propagate himself. Imagine, the Supreme Court has said that the electoral bond is illegal and unconstitutional, and he's saying that people are going to regret it. He is actually threatening us all. Can you imagine? So, if I talk about the Congress manifesto today, I will also do a comparison, and you will come to know how it is different, because as far as their manifesto is concerned, it is very, very different. Our manifesto, let's talk about the manifestos today, Chandnaga, and we will talk about the ENPO issue later on, because like I've always said, the Congress party always has made it clear that we will think very sympathetically about the ENPO issue, because for us, everybody in the country is important. And look at what the country is going through today. The videos of people killing each other in Manipur, and there is no word on Manipur in the manifesto of the BJP. So their BJP is a Jumla Sankalpa Patra. Sankalp actually means a resolve. They have taken a resolve to lay before us some more Jumlas, and we have to beware. We have to ensure that they don't try to fool us anymore. The Congress manifesto is your manifesto, because people have given their inputs, their suggestions, and that Nyay Patra, that means a resolve to bring justice to every single person of the country, is what lies in that manifesto of yours. The Congress manifesto belongs to the people of this country. I do want to start by mentioning how the BJP has outlined its third term. And the BJP is terrified. Yes, I was just seeing that video in Chumakadima. How dare this happen? And I want to find out from the police department as to why these Congress flags were being removed. Because if you notice how Mr. Modi's pictures and banners and hoardings are there all over Nagaland and the rest of the Northeast as well, it is disgusting, because nobody questions them on the amount of money they are spending, the amount of money their candidates are spending, and we know that it happens. It's not like something I'm, bringing out of the blue, or I'm speaking without evidence. We've all seen that. Now, there are very, very big things that the BJP has said in its manifesto, but what are the most important things that they haven't mentioned anything about? And how is it different from our manifesto, your manifesto? First of all, let's talk about the basic issues. I'll come to the UCC and CAA part a little later, but let me tell you that they haven't mentioned anything about government jobs. If you remember, the BJP and Mr. Modi in 2013-14 had said that they would give 2 crore jobs every year. That actually meant in the last 10 years, 20 crore people would have been lifted out of poverty because they would have jobs. The Congress party, and this time also, there is no mention of jobs. Mr. Modi only says, we have created jobs, people are working, not jobs, we have created employment. How they've created employment, only they know, because this is again a jumla, and their guarantee, the word guarantee that Modi is using, Modi's guarantee, every guarantee of Modi is a jumla. Please remember that. And you know that the farmers had been protesting, and they have said nothing about the MSP. The Congress party has said that the MSP will get a legal guarantee. What they're saying, we will give MSP, it doesn't matter, because even there is MSP already, my dear friends. And if there is MSP and the farmers are not getting that minimum support price, which is the amount that the crop should be bought at, nobody even bothers about it. And we've realized it. Of course, we brought in this system, but we realized that the farmers, especially the poor farmers, they are made a fool out of, and people buy their produced at a very, very low rate. And that is why, according to the Swaminathan report, the formula which was given of C2 plus 50% is going to be implemented. And this is something that the BJP's present Prime Minister, who's the Prime Minister of the country, is not the Prime Minister of the BJP, but disgustingly, he had given a report on this issue to Dr. Manmohan Singh, who he has derogated and maligned so much, and asked about giving MSP to the farm, legal guarantee of MSP to the farmers, and now suddenly he's turned turtle, because that's what he does. He is basically very scared. And I feel that this is very important as far as flags are. Yes, of course. If you're putting up flags, of course, people do put up their flags and, on the roadside, then those can be removed by the officials. But as far as the hoardings and boards are concerned, they are also specifically with a number at the back of that hoarding. If you go and check, they will have put a number, because that has to be given to the EC. If you find any single board in the entire Nagaland, entire Northeast, which does not have these details, please complain to the EC. You are citizens, and you can actually go through your, your groups, your communities, so that this is done. And today, if the community does not stand with you, then what can I say about it? You understand why that happens and what happens. But coming back to the flags, if the Congress flags are being removed and the BJP flags, the NDPP flags are not being removed, then obviously this is one-sided, and this is being done out of vindictiveness, and because they don't want the Congress party to have a level playing field. You know that our bank accounts have been frozen. And that is why I would also request all of you to make sure that Mr. Supung Merin Jamir, the candidate of the Congress party for the Nagaland Lok Sabha seat, does not come under pressure because of lack of funds. Everybody should be there to make sure that, yes, I will just tell you poor Naga boy, because it is there. And it's very, very important to talk about it. So this is something one should be very clear about, that we need to understand where we are coming from and why things are being done. It cannot be one-sided that only the Congress flags are removed. And therefore, please stand up with Mr. Jamir to ensure that he knows that the people of Nagaland stand for unity in diversity. And I will talk about unity and diversity in a bit. But when we talk about the manifestos of the Congress and the BJP has not said a word on justice for women, of empowerment for women. Their idea of empowerment is different, because they have a book they believe in, which is called the Manusmriti, according to which women are supposed to be very lowly. They are supposed to be treated badly. And of course, then you can imagine they don't talk about the LGBT community at all. They haven't spoken a word about price rise. And we are talking about how to bring it down. We are mentioning how we are going to take steps to bring down inflation and price rise. In Manipur, they have no vision. There's not a word about Manipur in their manifesto. Whereas we, in our manifesto, have clearly said that we will ensure that peace is established in Manipur. You know that the scheduled tribe status of any state is included in the sixth schedule of the Constitution. And if it has to be done, it has to be done for all the states which have a high scheduled tribe population. In this context, Ladakh, where Sonam Wangchuk is sitting, has been sitting for a very, very long time on he was on a fast for 21 days and nothing has been done. He is also asking for Ladakh to retain its statehood and to be given statehood as per the sixth schedule of the Constitution. But the BJP manifesto has said nothing about it. The BJP manifesto says nothing about Arunachal Pradesh,
nothing about Ladakh, because they don't really care who's if China is coming and occupying these territories. But you understand the dangers, and it is important that we stand up for everything which is right now, and we cast our vote for this purpose. When we talk about health, the BJP, I don't know how many of you have actually utilized the Ayushman card of the BJP, but it's a huge scam. And the CAG report, the Comptroller and Auditor General's report, has brought out a whole lot of instances where there have been faults over there. Single, I mean, a whole lot of numbers have been linked to one single telephone number, 7.5 lakh. Can you even imagine that? So if you have 7.5 lakh accounts linked to the same number, you can understand that how can one person be availing of benefits of 7.5 lakh accounts of Ayushman, of the health insurance, and that is for 5 lakhs. The Congress party, and of course the model is also incorrect, I'm not going to details of that, but the Congress party has said, and it has already implemented it in your what do you call Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, we implemented it, 25 lakh worth of health insurance to every single person. And for our and BJP says nothing about this. Their 5 lakhs is the one that is there. So that's it. They're saying what we've done, we've done. Now we don't need to say anything, and I'll tell you why. As far as our farmers are concerned, we have said that because you know that farmers commit suicides when they're not able to repay their loans. So we are going to ensure that they don't have to do that. Their loans are going to be waived off. We are going to make a commission so that all their problems are resolved as quickly as it can. And the most important thing, the BJP's manifesto says nothing about the caste census, because they are against the minorities. They are against the scheduled tribes. They are against the scheduled caste. And that is why the danger is so much as to the Northeast specifically, because you are a majorly tribal state. In fact, if I should say, I could say, I should actually, that the northeastern states are mainly tribal states. So when you're talking about the BJP manifesto, somebody mentioned, somebody asked me about LGBTQ, what we have said about the LGBTQ. We are going to make sure that the LGBTQ is treated, please give me a minute. Okay. So when we are talking about the LGBTQ community, we are mentioning them in our manifesto because we understand that their rights need to be protected, and especially with all these people, the way they are dealing with everything, it is very important that the Congress party has promised that we are going to bring in a law to recognize civil unions between couples belonging to the LGBTQ community. So I think that is going to be quite historical, but that is going to happen once you cast your vote and ensure that the Congress government, the India government, comes to power. And might I tell you that the LGBTQIA plus community is not just there in our manifesto, but even the left parties, CPIM, is in favor. The CPIM has said in its manifesto, has supported it and said, and I'll read it out to you, quote unquote, legal recognition and protection to same-sex couples similar to marriage, civil union, same-sex partnerships and legislations on similar lines as the Special Marriage Act 1954, so that the partner can be listed as a dependent for inheritance and alimony in case of divorce, etc. In fact, the CPIM manifesto also backs a comprehensive anti-discriminatory bill covering LGBTQ plus reservation in educational institutions and employment, and measures to address bullying, violence, harassment of gender non-conforming and LGBTQ plus students, staff, teachers in educational spaces. So this is in the left manifesto. So it's not just the Congress party which is saying it, but other parties of the India Alliance are also saying the same thing. One has to move ahead with the times, and that is why it is important that we take everybody along. And of course, anything which in my generation also, I find a lot of people who oppose it, but that doesn't mean that they are right? Things have to move, and we have to grow like the world is growing. Otherwise, we are going to be sidelined completely. And this is something, of course, that the BJP would also say that they don't agree to it. But if you look at the BJP, sex videos which come out every now and then, you have their pracharaks who are supposed to be unmarried with men. You have them, of course, you also have men and women, their sex videos getting leaked and all that. But let's not waste our time on that. Let's come to the more important issues. What the BJP has said is, and I want you to look at your roads properly, my friends from Nagaland, my friends from Manipur. Where are the roads? I mean, you just had to step off the highway from Dimapur to Kohima, and after Kohima there was no road, and they had said that they would start building the road. I don't know what has happened to the Dimapur State Stadium, which when I raised voice about that, they had suddenly started to work on it. I don't know what is happening about it. I don't know who's building what roads. There was no road after Kohima. It used to be such a pain when we used to go ahead of Kohima. Now the BJP is still promising clean drinking water for all households. Now you tell me, haven't they been saying jal, what? Jal se null, meaning no, null se jal. They keep saying null se jal. Where is that null se jal? I have seen an entire colony without nulls in the households. I saw one null in one entire community. So they are still saying that, and they are saying that the startup ecosystem will be widened to tier 2, tier 3 cities. Friends, don't buy their BS. You know what I'm talking about. You know why? Because when they are talking, yeah, that stupid Jal Jeevan mission, where is it? It sounds like some party ka naam. Anyhow, so now they're talking about the startup. Do you know Byju's has shut down? Do you know that Byju's was a startup, and where you had these guys making so much of money, and suddenly Byju's is gone. All these startups are gone, and therefore the Congress Party's manifesto, which talks about a 5,000 crore startup fund for our youth to ensure that they have proper money for their startups rather than have loans for the startups. We are starting with a fund for our youth to invest in startups. And that is how we can take this forward. Now, tell me, if everything was fine with the BJP, why is it that they are offering free ration scheme to people again for the next 5 years? And then when they look at the Congress manifesto, they keep saying, oh, how will you do this? How will you give this? Where will the money come from? Oh, God, please understand, people. When we got independence in 1947, of course, Nagaland became part of India much later. But, we didn't have any money. Where was the money? The British just took away everything and they just left. And even then, when not a single needle was made in the country at that time, we began to build on what we had, and we invested in education. We believed in the scientific temper, and therefore we wanted all our youngsters to develop scientific temper, to start thinking scientifically. And I've seen that across the Northeast. People, in spite of whatever problems, people think in a more logical way. I have experienced that myself. So tell me that if you could get education, you would be able to get a good job if the government created a conducive atmosphere for that. So if there's a conducive environment to getting jobs and creation of jobs rather than developing monopoly of only a few people, and everybody comes from Gujarat. I mean, like what? He'll just come, Modi will just come to Nagaland, Manipur, and he'll say, you are Ashtalakshmi. So what has happened to the Ashtalakshmi now? Mr. Modi should answer that. And remember, when he says Ashtalakshmi, he actually wants you to understand what his aim is, because later on he wants to say that, oh, I thought that this is what had to be done and it had to be only one religion in this country. And if you don't believe me, you should beware and talk amongst yourselves and you will understand how it is. So when I talk about unity in diversity in which all of us believe, yes, I know Jingru Naga, that six districts of Eastern Nagaland are abstaining from Lok Sabha election because Amit Shah lied to the people of Eastern Nagaland that issue will be resolved in 2 years' time. I was there when the ENPO said that they are not going to vote, they are going to abstain from voting in 2023 February. And at that time, yes, it's actually 7 districts. Amit Shah actually went there and he said that this issue would be resolved after the assembly elections, but that issue was not resolved because they don't intend to do it. They want to keep Nagaland on the boil, and nobody has seen that framework agreement. Even Nipo Rio talks about it. Just now, this fellow had come, JP Nadda. He was also talking about the framework agreement, how it was signed. Arey bhai, if you have signed something, at least show us what the result is. No, there are so many groups, so many factions even today. You tell me how many factions used to be there earlier, and how many of these uh, they actually believe in tax vasuli. So I don't know how many of them are there now. That is very important, and if you understand that, you understand their intentions completely. So when I talk about their manifesto, let me also go to what they have said here. Yes. So what they have said, now look at this. There was no time when we did not recognize the African states. African nations used to come to India. And I remember specifically one instance when I was in school, and there was the non-aligned movement, which was summit, which was organized in Delhi. And dignitaries from across the world had come, and many more compared to this G20. There were many more who came, and there were a lot of people from the African countries. They were also being represented. So he is speaking about, India has emerged as the voice of the global south. He wants to say that everything is about him, and that's it. And look at the stupidity of what all he says. That he will, because he's going towards the south. He wants the south votes. So he said, I will establish Tiruvalluvar cultural centers across the world. I mean, like, you are actually building detention centers in Assam. I hope you understand that. And so let me actually come to the dangers of their manifesto. There are two major dangers. You can write about the third one if you think there is anything else. They're talking about the CAA, and if you remember, Amit Shah had said that the NRC would be brought, and all of us would have to give our give proof about our parents, about their parents. How will we do that? Tell me. If our parents are no longer there, how will we do that? Or our parents don't have their parents around, how will they do it? So they are talking about implementing the CAA, and look at their focus. It's basically on all the uh, only the Hindus, not forget the Muslims, that they are totally against, but or even the Christians for that matter. But the Parsis, the Sikhs, the Jains, if they, you know very well that there would be some of these people staying elsewhere. What about the you know if there are certain countries where, for example, Nepal, if you have a minority Muslim or a Christian in Nepal, there would be minorities over there. So the CAA is opening doors for all people who are living in other countries, and because they are having a problem, we are opening our gates to them. Haven't we done it earlier? Taslima Nasreen had come to India, and over here she had so much of freedom that she was talking nonsense all the time, instigating people, and then she took up Sweden residence in Sweden. So when we are talking about what they want to do and why, you can see this written on the screen, unity in diversity versus one man's definition of uniformity, because CAA is also indirectly catering only to one religion. That is against the Constitution of India, right? So, but leaving that aside, because we always had laws where anybody who was in trouble, whether it was in our neighboring country or it could be anywhere, we would always be open hearted. So it's not like there were no laws over there. But now what they're doing is they're trying to scare people. But when they talk about the UCC, you might have heard that in my state of Uttarakhand, they have brought in the Uniform Civil Code. And isn't it ironical that the minorities are a minuscule number in our state? So there can be no polarization and there can be no danger of, communal politics being played here, or communal riots over here. So luckily, thankfully, that cannot happen here. However, wherever, and I found that the minorities, they come and work. And see, Nagaland has also seen how a lot of them came from Bangladesh, settled and worked over there. And in the hilly areas also, how they reached there, because they were the ones who were working in the fields also. So they are hardworking. Even in the north, or they do such fantastic masonry work, carpentry, even hair cutting, and chefs. They are fabulous chefs also. They are very good at dress designing. So they are there all over the place because they work hard. I don't know what the problem is. These guys want to chase everybody out, and then after that, what? You want to go and get a dress made? What was costing us 500 rupees will probably cost us 2000 rupees, because and it won't even be of that much good quality. You know what I mean? But now, when they are talking about UCC and one nation, one poll, is it dangerous? I ask of you. When they talk about the UCC, the Uniform Civil Code, I've been saying it consistently. Don't believe Kiran Rijiju. Don't believe Nico Rio. Don't believe that Bipethon or even that Imna Along, because they are BJP and BJP stooges. They don't give a damn to what happens later. They are thinking of their today. They are thinking of their future, so that nobody, uh, you know, puts charges on them for corruption. And they are only thinking about themselves. They don't give a damn if you're poor, if you don't have a job, if there are other more important issues, if you have to give up your religion. Obviously, you know which queen was awarded what award by the prime minister and why. Because he believes in that definition of uniformity where everybody is a clone of everybody else. And that is why the BJP manifesto says that they will bring in uniform civil code. Do the people of Nagaland think that the uniform civil code will not be brought in the Northeast? Can it be uniform if it is not brought into the Northeast? Can it be called a uniform civil code if it country and not in Nagaland or Manipur or Mizoram or Meghalaya or Arunachal Pradesh? It is just not possible. The uniform civil code is a reality that one will have to face if Modi comes to power again. And Modi should not come to power. It is no longer about BJP. These guys will keep saying they only want Modi out. Of course, we want Modi out. He is the symbol of divisiveness. And these guys are all parrots. Please remember, these guys are all parrots. They don't have brains. So when Manmohan Singh ji was in power, was the BJP saying that we want Manmohan Singh ji to be in power, or were they saying that we want Manmohan Singh ji out, right? So, and they put so many corruption charges on his government. And do you know that everything was false? No charges have been proved. No conviction has taken place after 10 years of Modi's. 10 years. In fact, let me also draw your attention to how corrupt their minds are and how criminal their minds are, how they think. Uh, if you remember the Chhattisgarh elections in 2023, November, at that time they said that the government was involved in a huge scam of Mahadev app or something, and there was a huge corruption charge. You know what? Now the case is also over, and it has been adjudicated that there was no case, that there was no corruption happening. So they build this aura about themselves, and they build this campaign to create this environment where everybody feels that, oh, there is only one man, and that one man is basically non-existent because he's a damn scared man. In Nagaland, 99.9% people want Congress led by Rahul Gandhi. Why Suku Kusen Yim is saying, I know, even in the south, I've been on duty in Telangana since January, and I've come to Dehradun to cast my vote. But I tell you, people love Rahul Gandhi over there, and they want to see him as the prime minister. Even I met three BJP workers at three different places, three different cities, in fact, and they all said that in my lifetime, I want to see Rahul Gandhi as the prime minister. Amazing, no? How much of love he's getting from people. BJP's 2024 manifesto doesn't mention anything about fixing. Absolutely, forget employment, forget creation of jobs, forget your inflation. They're not bothered about it. But let me tell you that they want to make one nation, one election a reality. This is what the manifesto says. But one nation, one election actually means one nation and no election. Because once Mr. Modi comes in, he will talk about no elections and him as the prime minister forever. Prime minister, president, everything. He will be everything. He will have people like you've seen. I don't want to say take names because these are posts which we respect. But people in very high positions, they're not respected. During the Ram Mandir temple inauguration, and I'm talking about the foundation stone laying ceremony, the then President Ramnath Kovind wasn't invited. Do you know why? Because he's a Dalit. And when the Pran Pratishtha happened, you know what Mr. Modi says? Congress party was invited and they never came. How stupid is that? Did they go and invite the BJP party? Did they invite the any other party? Look at the nonsense he speaks. It is not a party which was invited, and individuals were invited to a BJP RSS program. Why should we go for a BJP RSS program when we are against their ideology? And also, if you actually look at this issue, the Shankaracharyas who are at the head of the Sanatan Dharma, all the four Shankaracharyas refused to go for the Pran Pratishtha. And when Rahul Gandhi ji was in Assam that day and he wanted to visit a place of worship, he was stopped. He was stopped so that attention wouldn't go to him. But attention went. And I mean, like religion can't be an issue when you don't have food in your stomach, when you don't have a job, when you have a government which is kicking you around. And in my state of Uttarakhand, the youth have suffered paper leaks like hell. They're talking about 370 all the time, and you know what? They impose 307 section 307 of the IPC on youths who were protesting. And I was in Nagaland at that time, and they're so audacious. They said that these people who created this entire violent situation all came from outside of Uttarakhand. Can you imagine? And the addresses of all these 13 boys who were arrested under section 307 IPC were all from Uttarakhand. Their addresses were all from here. So these are dangerous people. They are vindictive, third class people, and you have to protect yourself. Because when they talk about their manifesto, it is the most stupid thing around, but it is dangerous. It is the most stupid thing because they talk about the vision for 2047. I mean, like BS or BS. I mean, like, this is actually bullshit, right? He is here. He was here for 5 years. Then Pulwama happened, and Satpal Malik said that he is the cause of that Pulwama attack, which it has never been investigated. He knows that he will get 400 seats, but we still don't know who brought the 300 kg RDX. Can you imagine? Does he know it? Or does he know the EVM and the EVM is telling him that? So we can't allow any of these things to happen. But one nation, one election actually means that this is going to be one nation after this one election, according to Mr. Modi. And after that, there will be no elections, and it will be Mr. Modi, Maharaja Diraj, who will reign because he believes in Maharaja and he wants to become a Maharaja. And all these BJP guys who keep saying that you're attacking him because you want to remove him. Well, in every election, we are trying to remove the government which is there, and everybody brings their ideas to you, their manifestos, their promises, what they can do better for you, and that is what is happening. But if they talk about a common electoral role, understand your data has already been sold. If you remember, WhatsApp messages were coming to all of us regarding Modi's some Viksit nonsense, Bharat Viksit or something. Only BJP guys understand, huh? Because BJP youngsters also have nothing in their brains. One fellow I met yesterday at a debate, he was in the audience, he was asking the anchor from Aaj Tak, uh, if what the Congress party had done to remove 370 or some nonsense, and other things also. And she had to tell him that the government of it wasn't the government of Congress in Uttarakhand or in the center. So this is what it is all about. But when you are talking about Mr. Modi and his false promises, you've heard this thing about 2047. Mr. Modi is consistently saying that we are going to make sure that India becomes a superpower by 2047 and things. So, meaning what he is promising to you today will be delivered in 1947. I don't know how old you are right now. It is 2024. So 34, 44, and 3 more years. 23 years later, he is saying it will be delivered. Do you want that? I mean, you have to think about what you want. And therefore, my question to you is, do you want a better life now or in 2047? I've said 1947, but it's actually 2047. So, but what to do? They go into history. So therefore, I also feel sometimes that maybe it's 1947 that he could be talking about. So he is asking you whether you want a better life now or in 2047. Let me make that correction. And here it is. Do you want a better life now or do you want a better life in 2047? It is for you to decide. 2047 is what he's talking about. So what he's trying to do is basically to change the constitution so that he can be the ruler for as long as he is alive, and you have to be careful of that. So I am now going to tell you about the promises that the Congress party has made, and I will specifically go into the BJP manifesto after this. The Congress party is talking about 5 justices, 5 nyay. Yuva nyay, that is justice for the youth, where we are promising the first job, and every educated diploma or degree holder will get 1 lakh rupees of apprenticeship. So, I've seen so many people who work as interns with lawyers and other places also, and they don't get paid, but they work because they want to learn and they want to get the practical experience. So now they will get 1 lakh apprenticeship, right to apprenticeship. Then Bharti Bharosa. Bharti Bharosa is 30 lakh government jobs which are lying vacant in the central government. They will be filled up according to a calendar. So the promise is not of 2 crore jobs per year, but jobs are going to be created in different sectors differently, and I'll tell you how. So all those people who are working as interns will also become self-reliant. They will have some money coming into their pocket, and it's going to be about 8,500. In addition to that, we are going to fill up the 30 lakh vacancies in central government jobs over a period of time according to a calendar. So it will be transparent. We are going to ensure that there are no paper leaks, and there will be laws and rules so that this doesn't happen. And for all the gig workers, all those delivery boys, all those people who are working for Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato, etc. There will be social security for them, and a better environment will be created for them. And of course, under Yuva Roshni, or um, light light for youth, we will have a startup fund of rupees 5,000 crores. Now let me come to Nari Nyay, or justice for women. Here we are going to be giving, and there are many more. I'm just giving you a few of them. I'm talking about the 25 main guarantees under the 5 heads. So the second head is Nari Nyay, or justice for women, where under the Mahalakshmi scheme, look at the name Mahalakshmi, and you know what Modi said? He said that the Congress manifesto is like the manifesto of the Muslim League. Can you imagine that? I mean, like, look at how he thinks. We're talking about Mahalakshmi, and Mahalakshmi is supposed to be his goddess also, because if he is really a Hindu, but I really doubt it. He doesn't understand what Hindu is or what Sanatan is. So Mahalakshmi, every poor family, one woman from every poor family will get 1 lakh rupees per year. So 8,500 rupees will come straight into her account. The second thing is Adi Abadi Pura Haq. Half the population, complete rights. So in all government jobs, there will be 50% reservation for women. I don't think many people in Nagaland will not like this. I know that for women, but you have to accept it. It's a reality. Women have to come forward. Women are contesting elections. You will have to let them contest elections also at some point of time. It could be your mother, it could be your sister, it could be your wife, but you forget the wife, but at least a sister or a mother to start with, right? And promote your wives also. Okay, so the third one is Shakti Ka Samman. You have your Anganwadi sisters, your Asha workers, your midday meal, workers who cook the food. They will get more salary, and their the government contribution will be doubled. Then there will be an adhikar maitri. Sometimes, being poor, being uneducated, or for various other reasons also, you don't get to know about the government schemes. That's a huge problem. That is a problem that I always face. And let me make it very clear that in earlier times, now we have the internet, but in earlier times when the internet wasn't there, and or internet had started to come in, we still found that a problem, that information about the various schemes was not there. We didn't know how to go about the various schemes, and gradually things started changing. And Dr. Manmohan Singh really worked on that, and we started getting to know about the various schemes. And that is for that, so that women don't have a problem, we will have an Adhikar Maitri. It's literally meaning uh, rights, a friend who is for your rights. So and she will be called a Saheli, a friend, in every panchayat. So in Nagaland, let's see how that works out because of your village councils. So it'll probably be there in every village council. Then you have Savitri Bai Phule Hostel. My dear youngsters of Nagaland, you go out to work, and then you have to stay as PGs, you look for hostels. So the number of hostels for working women will be doubled and will be called Savitri Bai Phule Hostel. Coming to farmers, farmers will get a legal right for their MSP. So a legal guarantee for their MSP. And Swaminathan report spoke about the C2 plus 50% formula that will be implemented. The loans that they've taken, the debts that they have incurred, there will be a permanent commission to redress this issue of you know their debts, so that that can be cleared and they don't have to pay their debts, right? Then they also have the loans that are there for your crops getting destroyed will get transferred into the farmers accounts within 30 days. Rio is confidence. Let's confuse him this time by voting Congress. Yes, Muchupure, Sanctum. I agree completely. Let's do it. And there is a breaking news going around that BJP and DPP party are going to do booth capturing on 19th April. So how is the Congress party of Nagaland gonna deal with this issue? We are going to deal with it with you. You have to show the guts now. It is now or never. It is your fight also. It is not just my fight or the Congress's fight. The Congress is fighting for you. And Which question, Akum? You asked me vote for Congress? No, you're asking me this question only. Right. So we will make sure that last time also we were complaining it was very difficult, but this time if the public comes out, believe me, there can be no power compared to the power of the people of Nagaland. Believe me, you just have to have the guts. Uh, of course, one is scared of what can happen, but let's just face it this time. Who am I fighting for? I have asked this question of myself many times, and I've just realized that I'm just fighting for the right thing. I'm just fighting for the rights of people. I'm not fighting for myself, and I don't give a damn. If I die tomorrow, I don't give a damn. If I'm killed by these guys, I don't give a damn. As long as I'm able to fight. And so, my dear friends, I request you to carry on this fight, and let's all get together. Nothing will happen to anybody, but let's get together. And if all of us are together in this fight, I'll tell you, I don't remember which constituency this was. There was one Mr. Jameer who was contesting from this place where I can't remember the name. His sister was also injured on the head. His house was set on fire, and there was a girl in that village who was showing me everything live at night on WhatsApp, and she was hiding in her house because her house was okay and her mother was getting furious with her. But she was showing me those videos, and I could see houses being set on fire. And the police came after about an hour. They landed up, and then things were brought under control. If she could do it, I'm sure we can all do it. We can all get together and fight them. Let's not get scared. Daro mat, Rahul Gandhi has been saying. We have to fight them. Of course, we are going to, and I'll tell you tomorrow what, you know, whether this thing is the party is aware. Let me assure you, but we can't fight it if you all are not with us. Who are we fighting? We are fighting for you, so you have to be with us. But coming back to this, uh, the export import policy will become better after consultation with the farmers and implementing that, and all the things which are used for farming and have GST on them will have GST removed. Then, when you are talking about workers, workers include not just our daily wage laborers, but workers in, there are so many kinds of workers that we have. So, everybody is going to get 25 lakhs health cover, free treatment, medical treatment in the hospital, doctor, your medicines, tests, surgery, etc. And for your for the honor of the work you do, because work should be respected. You in under the Manrega scheme, the amount will be increased to rupees 400. You know that the number of days earlier used to be 100, now it's come down to almost 45 days. People are not getting work under Manrega also because the government is completely inefficient, and that one man is only thinking about himself all the time. Then we have um, urban employment guarantee also for those people who work in urban areas, because Manrega is basically for rural areas. So those who are in employment in the urban areas, there will be a Manrega kind of scheme which will be brought in to ensure that nobody goes hungry, nobody goes without a job. In addition, there will be social security for all workers, and all the workers, laborers under the unorganized sector, they will have um, uh, your insurance, life insurance and accident insurance. They will also, it will also be made the I think everybody's facing a problem with the contractual jobs. So the contractual jobs are going to be done away with under the Congress manifesto. So please remember that. Then coming to the fifth, so you have Yuva Nyay, Nyay for youth, justice for youth, justice for women, justice for farmers, justice for laborers, and Hissedari, which is participation. And participation will happen when there is a caste census. So we will come to know how many scheduled tribes are there, scheduled castes are there, how many minorities are there, how many OBCs, how many Dalits, how many from the so-called, I don't consider it like that, but so-called forward class or upper class. I don't even like to call them upper class. That's why I said forward class. Uh, are poor. So if they are poor, then they need to make sure that they also have some redressal. And therefore, what we are doing is ginti karo, that every person will, a survey with a census will be done so that we know which community, how many people belong to which community, so that the government schemes are distributed accordingly and the participation of people is according to their populace. So the number of people in a particular community, they will be able to get those many jobs in a particular job wherever there is reservation. We're also removing the 50% cap on reservation because that's very important, especially for the SCs, ST, OBC, so that uh, this is the right to reservation which you will get, and this will be done uh, by bringing in a constitutional amendment. Chief Minister's health insurance scheme by deducting, yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, like, no, I don't. It's why should he deduct this money from? You don't realize there are so many times when they are deducting money from somewhere. They're charging a cess on so many things, and you understand that why cess is charged. I hope, and there are so many ways that they collect money from us. We are paying taxes on anything that we buy, right? Whether it is a soap or a detergent or a comb, there is tax on everything. So we are paying taxes actually. Sometimes we don't realize it because we are not taking a bill, but we are paying taxes for everything. No, I'm not coming tomorrow, but I'll come in the future sometime. Right now I'm on duty somewhere else. That's the reason I can't come. And I'll definitely have a chit chat and chai with you. And it'll be such a pleasure. So the SCs, STs, this is very important because this government is constantly saying that why do you want to do a caste census? Indira Gandhi said this, Jawaharlal Nehru opposed it. Well, at that time we had got independence and we didn't have to spend money on a caste census every 10 years, right? Because we were having a census and that did give us quite a bit of data. And we did do a caste census in 2011-12, but it was not completely okay for us to bring the results out because of whatever uh, you know discrepancies which were there, or the doubts that the parliamentarians had, different parties, because we were in a coalition government. But that data is still there. Why can't Mr. Modi just bring it out? He doesn't want to bring it out because he knows that this is going to be a problem for him, because he only believes in the affluent class. He believes in the so-called upper classes. They have to be brought forward. Women, that the women reservation bill was passed. It's an act now, but we are not getting to contest elections, right? In my state, we are going to give our best leaders at the moment. If we have more of men, we are going to give them. And so they're not giving it to us. They're just, talking nonsense. Yes, I will mention it. Congress candidate Sipung Merin Jamir is a one-man army against its rival 60 MLAs PDA alliance. I did mention, Wang Nao, I just mentioned about the ENPO issue. Please check it later. Of course, we are very sympathetic towards any issues that people have, and we want that we can move in a collaborative manner and take this forward so that there is a solution of all the problems. Who said sanctum? Muchum re sanctum. You're wrong. You are getting 25 lakh of health cover. You're getting free um, treatment, doctor, surgery, medicine, test, everything comes under this 25 lakhs. And CMHIS is a scam, which is being done by Nicorio on the people of Nagaland. Because yes, like you said, it's an opposition-less government. So let me come back to this SC/ST issue. SC/ST sub-plan uh, will get legal guarantee, meaning that according to your population, the budget will be allocated to your communities in that particular ratio. So that means there will be greater participation, greater funds, because at the moment, the funds, even in the government, there are a whole lot of, out of 90, there are only three people who come from the SC/ST community and or the OBC community, sorry, and they are dealing with funds which are very, very, very little. So they are dealing with a minor amount of money there also. Jal Jangal Zameen Ka Kanuni Haq, that actually literally means water, forest, and land. The legal right of every person who lives in a forest. So Van Adhikar is what it means, rights of a forest. That um, that there are disputes regarding that. The verdict in such matters will be given in 1 year, and wherever STs are the maximum, PESA will be implemented. So when we are talking about STs, that means scheduled tribes, what is the PESA Act? That's basically the PESA Act is about the panchayats. The Panchayats extension to Scheduled Areas Act. So PESA will be, if the panchayat comes in there. But of course, you have Article 371. So accordingly, things will happen in your area and because of your special status. But you know what? 370 was abrogated from Jammu and Kashmir. People of Jammu and Kashmir are still without a government of their own, and we are waiting for them to elect a government. But 371, they keep coming and telling you that one, the UCC will never be implemented, and two, there will be no abrogation of 371A. Tell me, if he has the power, if he gets brute majority again, will he not do it? But will he get 400 seats is what my question is. And I'll tell you why I think that that cannot happen, because it's important for us to understand where he's coming from and what he's saying. So let me, before I go ahead, let me tell you about Modi Ki Guarantee 2024, meaning the BJP has resolved to bring in Modi's guarantee. So it's not about the government of India, it's not about collective leadership, it's not about democracy. It is about one man that bows, that makes everyone bow before him, even in the BJP. And Nirmala Sitaraman, who's the finance minister, she's not contesting elections, and she's saying that she doesn't have the money to do it. And her husband, who is a very well-known economist, has said that if Modi comes to power again, he will, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, and I think I said this also in one of my earlier um, lives with you. He has said that if they come to power, then they are going to ensure, and not they, he is going to ensure that he is going to issue diktats from the ramparts of Red Fort. He will, it will be, what is an aberration will become a norm, and the community divide will increase, because he will issue orders on what you have to eat, what you have to wear, who you have to talk to, what religion you have to follow, and who you can marry, and of course, who you can live with, who you can love. These are things that, of course, he doesn't care about. Does he really care about anybody? I don't think so. He left his wife, huh? He's bringing laws for the minorities, but just look at him. He left his wife when she was young. He could have divorced her. I mean, like, it's simple. He could have divorced her. In India, a woman who has been left by her husband, maybe not so much today, but in the 1970s, can you imagine how people would have treated her? So anyhow, I don't want to get into his personal life because it's pretty disgusting to talk about that. But let me tell you that this Sankalp Patra, or the Modi ki guarantee, he, the first page has Narendra Modi's message, and then 2 pages And then JP Nadda. Then JP Nadda gives a message. Then JP Nadda gives a message on the greatness of Mr. Modi about being the manifesto committee chairman. Then what is mentioned next in a few pages is how they have given good governance and development in the last 10 years, my friends, last 10 years. And he talks about how he has worked for poor people. And everywhere it's mentioned Modi ki guarantee, Modi ki guarantee, Modi ki guarantee, which is so, he doesn't care about the environment. And he's put in that also. I don't want to get into the details of it. I think what all I have told you is good enough. There is one message from Rajnath Singh, and according to him, he has given 80 crore plus people free ration since 2020, and this has been extended for the next 5 years. Do you want to survive on these 5 kg of ration? Or do you want a job? Do you want to buy what you want to eat? Or do you want him to give you only the ration that he wants to give? And when the Congress government was there, I remember Mr. KLGC saying that when the Congress government was there, you got kerosene also, you got onions also, there was a shortage. There was so much you used to get. You used to get free dal also, you used to get sugar also. And he's giving 5 crore, 5 kg of your wheat and 5 kg of rice. And I remember going with some domestic help to get it for her. And, they charged her for the dal that they gave. And she took just 1 kg. So I asked her, I said, how will you survive on this? She said, we have to manage. So anyhow, what we had to do later, that was different. But he said that he's opened 50 crore accounts for PM Jan Dhan Yojana. I'm not going to go into it. It's total nonsense which he's given us. But let me come to the part where he is talking about what he is going to be doing. Let the screen is also running away. It's just speeding away. I apologize. Give me a minute, please. You remember he had said that India will become a global manufacturing hub. Let me give you some data on that. I found something about that, and this is where it is. He had said, okay, in 2011, there is a kerosene scam mismanagement by the UNS cohorts. That too, these guys will not leave anything. You have to throw them out at any cost. Okay, so Mr. Modi said that India has become the 5th greatest economy and it will become the 3rd greatest economy in the next few years. But for all you people, I have this piece of information that in 2011 itself, under Dr. Manmohan Singh, India became the 3rd largest economy after America and China. So first was America, second was China, and third was India. And where do I get this data from? In 2011, this happened, and this is given in the World Bank's International Comparison Program, which is the ICP. You can go online and check it. And in 2005, India was the 10th largest economy in 2010. And in 2005, and from 2005 to 2011, in 6 years of Dr. Manmohan Singh's rule, when we faced the global economic crisis, we didn't cry like this fellow cries. Oh, there was pandemic. Dr. Manmohan Singh, in spite of the global financial crisis, took India from the 10th position to the 3rd position in the world economy ratings of World Bank's ICP, International Comparison Program. And this was after, yes, you're absolutely right. Modi is, you know what? And manifesto is the disaster of India. So Modi's manifesto is the disaster of India. Absolutely. Okay, I won't go into what he needs as lessons in English because he is an actor. He can speak anything. Now, how did he win so many seats in 2014? Nobody knew him. They just had heard about this hype about the Gujarat model. We know the truth about it from the videos which have come out. In 2019, Pulwama happened, and 2024, you tell me, if he got 10 seats of Haryana, and there are only 10 seats, parliamentary seats, and he got all 10, can he get more? Similarly, in Uttar Pradesh, he got 62 out of 80. So how much more can he get over there, especially now with so much of anger against him? You obviously cannot get more. There are so many other places where he has already touched the maximum mark, and that is why he's going to the south again and again. And he's trying to build this hype about 400 seats. And here too, I have some data for you, which you should know. And this data is about Mr. Modi talking about, 400 par and 370 par. And I have already put a video regarding this, but you must share that as well. So Mr. Modi had said that they would go beyond. Let me check it. Where is it? I will share the link of that video. You take a look at it. You'll come to know how many seats he got and how much he was expecting. So that's it. But in addition to that, before I log off today, you know what he's saying? We want answers about the problems that the country is facing. But you know what he's saying is that those people who are eating mutton, who are eating fish, who are and specifically about Tejasvi Yadav, is this an election issue? I mean, like, these guys are not horrific. These guys are weird. So today, when I talk to you, I want to ask you if you want a better life now or in 2047. And his battle to change the constitution and reign for as long as he lives is what he wants to do. So when we talk about, yeah, CBI custody is like BJP custody. I've made a video saying that, yeah, everybody who's corrupt, he'll put them in jail, meaning he'll put them in BJP. So the name of the jail is BJP. Now, what the Congress Party's manifesto promises is social justice, equity and social justice, religious and linguistic minorities, senior citizens, persons with disabilities. These are the people that we are talking about. And LGBTQIA plus, senior citizens. And of course, as far as youth are concerned, we are talking about jobs, education, and sports. We are also talking about women empowerment and Mahalakshmi under women justice. For farmers, we are saying that not just the farmers, and I've told you what all we are planning to do for the farmers, the fishing and fishing communities are also going to be looked at. The workers, we have insurances, we have a plan to bring in a Manrega kind of scheme for urban workers. For the Manrega workers, we will increase the wages to 400 rupees. And of course, very important, we are also in our manifesto, we are talking about defending the constitution and our economic policy, unemployment, and we are trying to meet this desperate cry that we can hear from people for jobs because of the huge unemployment that we are facing. So we are promising 30 lakh jobs in the central government, then taxation and tax reform so that you get more relief. Industry will be looked at, infrastructure will be developed. We are thinking of all these things, and these are not just thoughts, these are promises that are being made with a resolve to complete them. As far as the federal structure of the country is concerned, which Modi does not believe in, we will ensure that center-state relations will improve. rural and urban development will take place, and northeastern states have specifically been mentioned here. When we talk about national security, we have said that defense, internal security, foreign policy is what we will be looking at. And in the case of environment, we are saying that we will work towards ensuring that steps are taken, because climate change is a reality. Disaster management has to be looked at. You know that there are times when there are landslides. You have hilly areas. I live in a place where there are lots of landslides, and because of the haphazard uh, develop infrastructure development programs of Mr. Modi, we are suffering that. But of course, the bhakts will remain blind. Make no mistake. So we are talking about water management and sanitation. And let me tell you, you remember Modi talking about Ganga Maiya, मैं Ganga Maiya का बेटा हूँ, Ganga माँ ने मुझे बुलाया है. Remember? And then he had started this Namami Gange project in 2014, which was actually another name for the Ganga Action Plan. But at that time, he made such a hue and cry about it. He spoke about Swachh Bharat. Well, where is that Swachh Bharat? You tell me. Have you seen him marrowing jhadu? No. So we are going to work towards that, because he has not done it. He promised and he didn't do it. So it's not only about the black money, which never came back. Uh, and as far as the Congress Party, we are a 138-year-old party, and we have always identified ourselves with development, with the problems of people, with the aspirations of people, with the hopes of every single citizen of the country. And that is what we are going to work towards, because this is the second battle of independence. And even during the freedom struggle, the most important aim was to win, to get freedom. And today also, we are waiting to win, to get that freedom. After independence, uh, we, uh, for us, the article of faith was a constitution which Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar had drafted, had prepared, and yesterday was his birth anniversary. So, you know, as we remember him, we also know that there is a lot for us to do. And therefore, as the Congress Party, we reiterate, and I hope that all of you will join me in this, that the Constitution of India shall remain our one and only sole guide and companion in this never ending journey of ours, in this never ending journey of the nation that is India. But what you have to be careful about is the BJP's manifesto, which is set to divide us. They want to use the power of your vote to defeat you. So use the power of your vote to defeat the BJP. And for that, you have to vote for the Congress. If you compare the Congress manifesto and the BJP manifesto, you will see the difference. We are giving you guarantees. We are making sure that our boundaries are secure, people are safe, and the problems of unemployment and price rise are to be addressed, and we have a plan for that. Let no one tell you that this can't be done. In 1947, our country didn't make a needle, and look where we have got. We built so much that this man has come and he's selling off everything, because he fooled everyone when he came. He said, oh, I will do this, I will do that. But I just believe that a leopard can never change its spots. And what happened in Gujarat in 2002, please never forget that, because those people didn't get justice. They keep saying that he got a clean sheet. What do you mean he got a clean sheet? Somebody killed those people there, right? Somebody was responsible. Responsibility came on nobody's shoulder, and it breaks my heart to think of that. And if you remember how Bilkis Bano's rapists, who were also a gang rapists, they raped her mother, they raped her sister, they killed her child in front of her. Can you imagine? Horrible. And all those rapists and murderers were set free till the Supreme Court intervened this year, and they were sent back. But by that time, the work had been done. I have a problem with this kind of judicial system also, which comes up with decisions so late. Like I'm happy that this decision on the electoral bonds have come. But tell me, my dear friends, that the electoral bonds came in 2017, implemented in 2018, and the government which is formed used that money and has used that money in the last 5 years since 2019. In fact, even before that, they got the money. But and the data is only about the funds which were received after 2019. Please remember, the data of 2018-19 is not there as yet. And uh, the judgment, however much we welcome, must not forget that if that money is what we are talking about, then if the electoral bond scheme was illegal and unconstitutional, then Modi's government of 2019 to 2024 is also unconstitutional and illegal. Am I right? Or am I right? Decide for yourself. So when I talk about the Nyaya Patra of the Congress Party, it's a great document which is in simple language and people are talking about it, because you need to see those guarantees which are mentioned over there. It will give you some hope. It will give you hope that there things will become better. But for that, you know what you have to do. I'll come to that at the end. But what is very important to remember is that there is one man who thinks that everybody should be a clone of everybody else and he should be the king. But we believe in unity in diversity. We are all one. We are one India, but we are a diverse nation. You have your beautiful culture, and that's why it's so beautiful when somebody comes from Nagaland to Uttarakhand, or like I went from Uttarakhand to Nagaland, or when I go to Telangana or Madurai in Tamil Nadu or Rajasthan or Mizoram, it's a different culture that I get to see, right? So, and this is something that we should enjoy. And so, while he will give you promises and talk about it, he is only talking about UCC, one nation, one election, what you should eat, who you should marry. And he might say that he's not going to abrogate Article 371. And please mark my words, he hasn't said it once. It is his ministers who are being sent to you to say this. So that when he decides to abrogate and scream around in parliament, you know, people will say, get us one interview where he said, even Kiran Rijiju will say, yes, I said it, but the Prime Minister didn't say it. This is what the plan is. But now, like I said, that he has saturated himself in the north, in the northeast, and so he cannot get to that 370 marks. So what he can get is more votes from some other region. That's why he's looking at the south. But the people of the south also recognize him and they understand what he's all about. And I'd like to show you this banner here, which is running. Do you want a better life now or in 1947? You've got the same life that you had in 1947. So the question is, Modi is asking you now, do you want a better life now or in 2047? So do you want to wait for 23 years to get a better life? By that time, who knows what will happen? But his aim, Modi's aim, is basically to change the constitution and reign for as long as he lives. And that is what we need to fight against. And therefore, it is important that we come together and we reiterate that the Constitution of India will be our one sole guide and companion in this never ending journey of us as Indians. Do share this with you, and I will get back to you tomorrow again. And poor Naga boy has written, Congress party has written to SEC, State Election Commission, but you know who is Nagaland State Election Commissioner? Is none other than Chor TJ Longkumer, former DGP, puppet of Leo. What do you think he will take action? Well, Jingu Naga, I would just say that if you really raise your voice, they will have to take action. They will have to take action. You see the outrage you created. You think it was so simple for the Deputy Chief Minister Peton to get that uh, very well publicized show cause notice. Of course, what happened after that is what we should be raising, and we will do that tomorrow. Yes, you have to be aware of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. It is the RSS. You know that Arambai Tengol is RSS, Methi Lipun is RSS, and there was this JDSSM in Assam. And I remember they were saying that the scheduled tribes status should be taken away from all those scheduled tribes who are now Christians, because they become Christians, they come into the minority category, and they are no longer the they're no longer scheduled tribes. Whereas the states that he was talking about, whether it is you, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, or Meghalaya, or Arunachal Pradesh, you have special status, right? Why was he saying that? Understand, that is the RSS. That is Modi's masks, which just keep coming to you, but you don't recognize them because they look like somebody else, because the mask is there. If the mask is removed, it will be BJP, RSS, Modi. Modi's face, which symbolizes the BJP and RSS of today. So every time you see Modi's face, remember it is BJP, RSS, Modi. I will see you again tomorrow, and let's catch up tomorrow, and we will talk about something more on the manifesto of the BJP, more on the BJP manifesto. Today I didn't feel like talking about it. Yes. So do share this video so that more and more people get the strength to fight the powers that be, and make sure that Mr. Supung Meren Jamir wins this time, because it is now or never. See you again. Goodbye. Good night. No, I'm not coming to Dimapur for the rally because the elections are on in my state. Tingru Naga, thank you so much. Yes, lots of love to all of you. Goodbye and good night. See you tomorrow. Do keep sharing my videos.